president and CEO of Sissyart International. They got cool tote bags and art and t-shirts and pictures of cactuses. And the first sponsor of this here podcast, Miss Terra Galor. But before we move on to that, let's introduce everybody in the room. We've got the formerly known as Captain David.
Wow, that was
good, guys. I'm happy we started like that.
And then we got Spaghetti Arms, Spake Spaghetti, Anthony Tatum.
That's me.
I'm gonna get you.
And he's gonna get got. All right, check this out, dude. So this podcast is sponsored by.
Wait. Who are you?
Oh, I'm fucking. You know who I be, dude. I am the
I still smell like cinnamon.
Founder. That's not even funny, dude. I don't know why you made that a drop. For one, two. I'm the founder of this here enterprise. Okay, I am the captain of this ship, and my name is Chudsy _Wubsy.
Whoa!
Nice. You can follow me on Instagram, and people tell me all the time, "Yo, dude, your social media is popping."
I told him that once, and he's been living on that.
And then he told
My
me that
mom
once.
thinks so too.
And Anaconda thinks too. That's two people right there, dude. You don't even know. And all my tagged photos are from your wife. What up?
True.
And they sick as fuck. What up? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, podcast sponsored by Sissyart, and we are blessed and highly flavored to have the president and CEO of Sissyart here in the room with us today. If you like that intro music, that was Devin J. Hancock, and you can follow him at Devin J. Hancock for those lo-fi bangers. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and support your homies, dude. You know you're listening to this laughing right now, having a good time. We're about to hit you with that human connection and positivity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I guess we can jump in. I mean, Chad was on a run. I didn't know how long he was going to keep that going. I was like sitting back, and I fell into the showbiz,
Now,
man.
that's nice.
So I am super happy to have Terra on the show. We have like this long list of guests of people that we are really excited to have on, and we're kind of staggering them around. But Terra is so close to us and lives actually 20 feet from where this studio is recording.
She's
right
actually
now.
the captain's roommate.
In my own home.
In your own fucking home. And I think that this is going to be a really fun episode. I really do. So Terra, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
You
But
can say
don't
you're
get
welcome.
don't get it confused. She is dating the Captain David. I don't know why I just called him the Captain.
And his mustache.
And his mustache. So when I said roommate, that doesn't mean she's single. So back up off her, dude. She is taken by the mustache himself, Mr. David Slack, Big Daddy Slack 420.
Hey, how long have we known you?
You guys have probably known me for about 4 years.
Feels like 10.
Yeah, it does feel like
I
10.
feel like I've known you for 10 years.
I've known you for 10 years. Am I talking into the mic?
No, you're doing an amazing
Does anyone
job.
feel
No,
like
it's
I'm
perfect.
not?
No, you're yelling.
Okay.
Calm down.
Hey, what's up? Hey, viewers, it's me.
So Terra
your girl.
makes art, right? Terra makes a ton of art, literally shirts,
Every single day of my life, I'm making
totes.
art,
What are
so.
you working on right now?
Right now, we're doing a vinyl press on candles, the tall religious candles for ceremonies, and we're putting really strange designs on there. So there's like a baby with a mermaid tail and angel wings on one of them. None of them have sold yet. I think people think they're too weird, but I'm going to keep going.
Where can you find those at?
You can find them on my Instagram at Sissyart. I don't have a website yet, but I'm working on it.
Yo, go check it out. Go buy that stuff. You got a shirt.
I have an entire wall dedicated to Sissyart.
Sissyart made it.
It's pretty amazing.
Sissyart made it.
Hey.
Sissy gang, y'all.
Well, speaking of that, do we want to hear the official Sissyart song we're working on real
Wait,
quick?
no, I think that we should surprise the guests.
Okay.
You'll know when to play it.
Oh,
you'll know when to play.
Maybe when we come back from break
Yeah, maybe when we come
instead
back
of the
from
regular
break.
intro.
Yeah, when we back.
Oh my goodness.
I'm feeling so nervous. It's so weird. Like nobody can see me.
It's just
but
us
I
in the
feel
room.
like
I can see.
I'm not wearing the right outfit for a podcast. You know what I mean?
So Terra doesn't do very well in the morning.
Tara's wearing a wedding dress.
We woke up at I woke up around 6:30, and we all planned to meet at a restaurant down the street at 7:30. And Terra got there, and she had sunglasses on. She looked like Marilyn Monroe if you woke her
Like
up.
Jackie
too early.
Onassis,
There
yeah.
you go, exactly. And Terra's no good before what? 10 a.m. Would you say?
I'm not good before 11 probably.
11. That's how it is scheduling. Exactly.
Well, one of the signs in the restaurant really upset me. It said our bacon tastes like meat candy or something like that. And I was half asleep and I was like, this is the worst restaurant I've ever been to.
Let's blow this popsicle
Oh
stand.
my gosh.
And Anthony was actually the first one there for once
No.
in the 10 years
False.
that I've known him.
False.
And he's like, on his high horse. "Ooh, I was here first, you guys, where you guys at? Blah, 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 blah." And literally every single time I've ever had to do anything with Anthony, I'm always sitting there waiting. And then David's always just like, well, if you talk to Ann, I'm like, no, have you talked to Ann? And then I'm like, David, call him. And David's like, no, he gets angry when you call him. Just shoot him a text. You call him.
I think with my closer friends, which is a really sad reality for me, is like I'm mean to my close friends. I kind of find out that I'm a dick.
You hated me for like a year.
That's
It
not
felt like, oh my
true.
God, you were so mean to me. And I fake laughed at all of your jokes because I wanted you to like
You
me
really
so
laugh.
bad.
No, you really
He would
laugh.
tell a
Fake
joke and I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. Hilarious. Do you love me, Anthony?
I do love you. I believe in you. So let's talk a little bit about art. Let's talk about where we're going. What's the vision right now? If you could be, as far as your art and the progression, I know you're making candles, you're making shirts. Let's just say you had a vision, and maybe you don't, but you have a vision for what the goal is. Where are we going with this art thing? What do you want?
So I have one idea and it's gonna come off as kind of weird, but my sister, you can actually follow her on Instagram at Desert Rat Designs.
Big shout out.
Yes, big
Dope
shout
furniture.
out. Her furniture is amazing. So she refurbishes furniture and we work together on a lot of stuff. We do a lot of collabs. So we want to buy a warehouse in downtown Phoenix and turn it into like a venue for us. And so we'd be like selling our art and furniture throughout the day. And then like on big holidays like Halloween, New Year's Eve, stuff like that, we'd be throwing like banger warehouse parties.
Big holidays like
Halloween.
All of those holidays are important to me and you know that.
What's your
President's
least
Day.
favorite
Oh
holiday?
my God. Okay, my least favorite holiday, honestly, Easter. Happy Easter, everybody.
God
Dude, I don't
oh
care
yeah.
about
What have
Easter.
we done? We started the podcast. We're like 8 minutes in. We haven't said Happy Easter to
Happy
everybody.
Easter, everybody, but this holiday sucks.
No, but they'll be listening to it tomorrow anyway. So hey, happy Monday. Hope your day's going well. I know. Back to the old grind. Am I right? It's a struggle out here.
Monday.
If you're up before 10, Godspeed. Good luck to you.
Yeah, I know, but you're got Moss blessings, family.
Moss bless.
So a big warehouse, having warehouse parties. That sounds super sick. How far are we from the goal?
We're pretty far from the goal right now. Where I'm at right now with the art thing is that I did my first like official art showing on Thursday. You guys were there. I was so nervous the entire time. Like I would look at people just staring at my art and then I would make eye contact with them on accident and then
Yeah.
they would look at me and I would just put both of my shoulders up into a shrug like, I don't know. It
What do you think?
was so uncomfortable. I wanted to throw up the entire time. And I do a couple other art things. I do a lot of art things in my community, but like where I'm at right now, I'm actually super pleased with because 4 years ago, I didn't like showing my art to anybody. So like where I'm at right now is like to have my art up and have a bunch of strangers show it. And me not throw up is actually a very amazing accomplishment.
How'd you
for
get
me.
here? What kind of happened that transitioned you into being more comfortable with this or reaching out? Is it natural progression, you think?
No, I've put a lot of work into it. So I started working in restaurants, like 3 years ago, I think.
That's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been weird because all my friends work 9 to 5, so I don't really see my friends anymore, but it's fine. Yeah, so I started working in restaurants and I developed the name Sissy because my sister just started introducing me to people like that. Like we'd be out at a bar and she'd be like, oh, this is Sissy. So I lost the name Terra completely, if you guys can even believe
Terra?
it.
Your
Yeah,
name
who
was
is
Terra?
Who is Terra? I'm actually Snorlax Kush OG on my personal Instagram. If you ever want to see videos of me dancing with a vacuum, you're gonna like it.
Didn't somebody come up to you at the art show and say, "Oh, you're Sissyart"?
Yeah, I felt like a celebrity. I was amazed. I've done that to local Phoenix artists before and be like, "Oh my God, you're blah blah blah." I'm just gonna say her name. I did it to Sage Pizza. Sage Pizza, if you're listening, I love you.
Yes.
So I felt like a celebrity. I was so excited. But yeah, everybody asked me all the time where Sissy came from. It honestly just came from my sister introducing me without my name, being like, "Oh, this is Sissy," and now I've got this like gold Sissy necklace, and my whole brand is Sissy. And yeah, so I started signing my paintings Sissy, and I put them up at one of the bars at the Deli Tavern. It's not there anymore. And people would like tag me on Instagram and be like, "Sissy sighting," and then that's when the Sissyart Instagram came up. And so, yeah, I just started hanging out in bars. I was doing my thing in restaurants, and people started going up to me and being like, "Do you make art?" And the first couple times I was like, "No, I doodle, if anything." But honestly, you should see the art studio. It's a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm supposed to keep talking.
Yeah, you're supposed to keep talking. Keep telling
I
us
feel
about how you've
nervous,
grown
man.
into this.
Oh yeah, so eventually every time like these people are going up to me and being like, "Oh, you make art, I make art, blah blah blah," and it's like spiraling into these conversations where I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll show you one thing."
Yeah.
You know, and it'd be one painting and then they wouldn't say anything, or they'd be like, "Oh, this is dope." And then they'd just stare at you and I'd just run away. I'd like leave my phone on the bar. I'd be like, "Okay, cool, nice to meet you," and just like dip, because I think there's like a level of insecurity that comes when you make something rather than just like if you don't like my hair, it doesn't really matter, but like something that I spent hours doing,
Right.
and like if you don't say anything positive about it, then the assumption is that you actually hate it so much, or you just don't get it. And if you don't get it, then I don't want to explain it to you because I don't really get it either, you know? That sucks. You
Well,
know?
I mean, you put the way that you put energy into art. I don't put energy really into anything. So I could imagine the fear of kind of opening that avenue up. It'd be like if somebody wanted to like film me and Becca's relationship at my house and then criticize it. I'd be like, "What the fuck is going on? No, you cannot come in my house and watch what I'm doing right now." Plus, we're just doing weird shit at the house all day, like weird dances and songs and things like that. I don't want people criticizing that. So I imagine when you open the art up to people, that it's kind of like, you know, critiquing your passion, what you are, essentially, more than just what you're doing.
100%.
You do, I mean, because I come over here and I am a man without hobbies. I don't know how many of you guys, David, you have hobbies.
Yeah, I'm in a band. I do a podcast. You also do the podcast, though.
David's got a new
I
hobby
do.
every month, though.
I do a lot of gardening.
Chad, you got hobbies?
I got hella hobbies, dude.
Tell the people about
I
it.
run, I rock climb, I explore the wilderness. I have a podcast.
See, and this is why, and when they were talking about me earlier, I don't have hobbies. I just have I feel like too many responsibilities. You know, like my passions are my responsibilities.
You play a lot of video games.
I don't, though. I haven't played video games in that's true. It's false what you're saying right now. It's true that I don't. I probably played 2 hours of video games in the past 3 weeks.
I think to some extent, though, it's like my passion has become a new responsibility where it's just like, I was gonna go over to your house last night, and it was like I got off work and I was like, I have so much art stuff to do, and it sounds like whenever I tell my friends that, it sounds like I'm just gonna go home and cover myself in paint and go, woohoo, I'm having a great time. But really, what's happening is I'm so stressed out, you know, because I'm trying to build something out of completely nothing. Like, who is Sissy, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of pressure comes from that, where it's like,
going?
Exactly, where am I going? You know, that's the question of the year. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because there'll be parties at our house and stuff, and I'm like, I have too much to do. So I just bust out the art stuff while I have a party in my living room and everyone's just watching me do it. And then I get too uncomfortable. I go in my room and do it.
Well, that's a good, sign of growth, because you are trying to build this thing and you're trying to, eventually obviously get paid from this thing. Right. And it's like, but you want to go and have fun with your friends. You don't want to miss out on those times. But as we get older and we start to develop these passions and we start to develop these things that we want to do in our lives, we have to make time for them, and we have to make those healthy decisions and choices to be like, okay, even though I want to go hang out with my friends, this is really important right now. And this has to be done, because we're all getting older, with, Anthony being the oldest, but, he doesn't have any passions or anything like that.
I'm the oldest at heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how we talk. Yeah, at heart.
Wait, what?
He's very, very, very conservative. But
I'm the most like a dad.
The most like a dad. He gets scared when people go over the edge of the Grand Canyon, even though there's handrails.
It's a foolish decision that people make, and I've actually seen your photos at Horseshoe Bend. I want you to know that people fall off those cliffs all the time. They don't put fences there, and I think because they don't put fences, people are just like, must be safe. It's like, well, I've got yoga pants on. This is an okay idea. I could probably get pretty close to this ledge. I'm like, no, it's fucking dirt under your feet. I watched you people trip walking down the hill, and now people all of a sudden get really close to 160-foot sheer drop, and they're just like, no problem. I'm just going to take a selfie right here.
Yeah, I've taken a lot of those, actually.
Oh, my God. I can't deal with
help
that.
myself.
Oh, it's just so exhilarating. So, yeah, man, once you start to develop that passion, did you have to make those healthy decisions of being like, I need to put more time towards this thing that I love, and like I've got to miss out on those times with my friends?
Well, and I think that would be a good transition for you, because me and you have kind of gone back and forth on this. For me, anything I'm good at, I'm like, how can I capitalize on this? And people tell me I'm broken all the time. They're like, calm down. My wife yells at me when I talk to, I'll like be looking at your art, and I'm like, fuck, we're going to make millions off of this. My wife's like, can she just do art and not worry about you trying to sell her art?
His wife is my best friend, in case anybody's wondering.
Yeah, we fight because of me trying to capitalize on you when you're not
monetize
around.
it.
I'm like, yo, here's what I'm saying. We're going to get screen printers. Tara, I don't know what Tara thinks of this. Fuck Tara. She doesn't know what's best for her. I'm the dad of this group. I got to protect her. What's she going to do when she gets older? She doesn't have fucking insurance.
I swear to God, I tried to we had people over one night, and you were the one. It was like, I was like, I'm just going to put the art stuff away. I'll play games with you. And you're like, no, you have to keep working. More cactus. And I was like, please, I'm tired. My arthritis is kicking in.
Use your fucking toes, Tara.
Use Jack's hands.
You think we're going to get
cat.
wealthy just chilling? No, but so for you, how has that transition been? Because I know that you genuinely enjoy art, and you were probably doing art long before there was any notion of the necessity to work. And now, you're kind of transitioning your passion into, or you have an ambition to have your art be your provider, essentially.
Yeah.
And so how is that right now for you? How are you dealing with that? Is that hard? Is that complex?
So about a month ago, I was getting in trouble at my restaurant. My managers kept on talking to me, and they were like, you can't keep taking off time. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I work a restaurant job for a reason. I don't have dental at this job. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And yeah, they were just saying that like I take off random days here and there, and like, oh, I've got quote unquote art shows. And I was like, well, then maybe I should leave the restaurant industry. Like maybe I should go do something in art. And one of my managers was talking to me, and he said, you have to make it work for you, or you're working for restaurants. And like, is that what you want, to be covered in ranch every day? Which I am. And
which, if you like ranch, isn't a bad thing.
Oh my God, it's gross though. And yeah, so he was telling me I have to make it work for me. And what's kind of happened in my life recently since I talked to him is like the restaurant industry is working for me right now. Like last night I got out of work at 11:30, but like, and I worked a double yesterday, which is 2 shifts back to back, in case anybody's wondering what that means. But anyway,
thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, of course. And I went into this job, and they asked me to come on full time, and it's at a different location. And this location is closed on Mondays and doesn't open till 3 on weekdays. And like, I can't think of anything better that could work for Sissyart then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's perfect for me. So they weren't really asking me. They were telling me like, that's what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And they brought up the art thing, and they were like, and you can do art during the day, and then you can work at night. You're going to pay all your bills, and you're also going to make art, and it's going to be awesome. And you're going to do everything that you want to do in your life. And I was like blown away by this. It's not even like, I don't know if I believe in this whole idea of like manifesting your destiny. And like, I hear people say that, and I don't know how much I truly vibe with it, but like, I know that like I put that out there. Yeah. And I follow all of higher management on Instagram, on my art page, and I talk about it all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing this art thing, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. And like, now I'm having people in my company who are like number 2 in the company going up to me and being like, we're going to help you with this art thing.
Oh, how badass.
And it's like, dude, like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't sitting down praying about it that like, hopefully my like dead end restaurant job was going to help me with my art. You know what I mean? That just like kind of came out of nowhere. Well, I've been talking about it. I've been working hard on that. So it didn't come out of nowhere. But yeah, it's been really cool. It's been super cool. And like, I had an experience on Thursday where my boss called me and he was like, can you come in? And I was like, I have the art show. And he was like, well, like, you don't need to be there, right? And I was like, this is probably like one of the coolest things that's happened to me art wise, because it's not like, it's not affiliated with any sober group that I'm in or anything else, you know, like my mom didn't get me the job,
right?
Kind of a thing. Like these people had reached out to me. They wanted me to be in the show. And I was like, no, I can't do it. This is a big deal for me, blah, blah, blah. And I go and I drop off my art for the show. That's like the next day. And I'm down there in the basement and I'm like, oh my God, all this art is so much better than mine.
Oh.
I started freaking out. I was like sweating through my shirt, and there was like these 3 guys talking to me about like the show and like what's going to happen and blah, 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 and how many people I can bring and all this stuff. And I'm just like looking around and I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, I got to go, dude. Cause like their art's amazing. My art doesn't fit in. My art doesn't match at all. And so I'm like, yeah, it was really nice meeting you guys. Like, gotta head out. And I tripped up the stairs. I'm so damn clumsy, dude. And they're like these metal stairs, so it like sounded louder than it hurt, you know? And so like they all run up to me. They're like, are you okay? We'll walk you out to your car. And so I have these guys walking me out to my car, and I was so embarrassed. And I'm just like, okay, for sure. Like, I've got things to do. I gotta go. And they're looking at my car and they're like, oh, are these other paintings yours? And I just like lied. I was like, nope. And they're like, oh, do
It's
you?
a running dialogue for you. So talk about the art pieces in there. Actually, what we can do is during the podcast, we can clip. And actually, before we continue, thank you so much for all of the graphic design that you've given to our podcast at this point. I got a call from one of my close friends in Atlanta, and he was like, hey, the podcast is cool, man. It's a pretty rad listen. And then he like paused and he was like, who did your graphic design? I was like,
Sissyart made it.
You know that it's fucking Terra. You know it's Terra. And he was like, dude, she's crushing it. It's like, thank you. So as far as the art that was in the showing, let's talk a little bit about it, because you were like, oh, everyone else is better. But you've put down some goddamn masterpieces.
I put down my bangers, my best personal work that I refuse to sell. So to all the viewers, if you're looking at the screen right now, these items are not for sale. I'm
So
keeping
don't
them.
even
Like, don't even
try.
ask
It's so
me about
funny.
it.
You're like, your art doesn't match, but honestly, out of all the art down, there were a few art, but like the whole aesthetics and like feel of the basement at that restaurant is your art. It was very dark and gloomy and kind of mysterious. You're not quite sure where you are or what's going on, and then you just see Technicolor Stepmom. You're like, oh my God, this fits so well.
Well, and tell us about the pieces up on the screen. Tell the people about it. What is this?
Okay, so if you're looking at the screen right now, this is we call it the Goldman. This one is actually really cool because I was going through something. I was trying to leave my job, but I was like so scared, and I just was going through it, and I was just thinking about it every day, and I decided instead of trying to make money, I would do this like expression piece with just gold and gray, and it turned out like so creepy and like ominous, you know what I mean? Like there's just something, to me, there's something about this painting that's just like, when I first finished it, I felt like this weird experience where I was like, they're so disappointed that I won't just like make a fucking decision, you know?
Oh,
and like,
wow, I'm looking at the art differently now.
I swear, but like as time has gone on, it's just like, it's just turned into one of my favorite paintings. But in the moment, I was like, they are so upset with me, man. Like, look at these dudes. They care about me. Like,
This is good. What's the pull up the next one? And this one.
This is Technicolor Stepmom.
and this is the Technicolored Stepmom.
God, this is a beautiful piece of art.
This is actually a painting of my stepmom. So you can find this picture on my dad's Facebook if you're curious about it.
Where do we follow?
At Adam Galor, or if you want to find his Instagram, my dad's Instagram is Adam Switch, like an atom bomb.
Oh, okay.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
And that's my dad's Instagram. So yeah, this painting, me and my dad and my stepmom we've had a pretty good relationship in the last 5 years, but it's always been kind of rocky. And so for Father's Day, I wanted to do this, and things transpired and I ended up keeping the painting. But a couple people have tried to buy it over the years, and there's been this like weird connection to it where it's just like I've been offered $400, I think was the highest offer I got for it.
How cool
and
is that?
it was cool to turn it down.
Wait, hold on. When you posted this, you were at Arby's.
That's what it says on the.
What the fuck were you doing there? People still go to Arby's? What do you eat from Arby's?
Me and David really like Arby's.
Oh my god. All right, next piece of art. I'm done with
I
this
was at
one.
Arby's.
And then is this you posted 3, right? Oh, I hate this piece of art.
Yeah,
This
Anthony
one makes
is
me feel
not a
so
fan.
weird. I like it though. It's got like a very alien vibe, dude. I'm just like, what is going on? I love this so much.
Okay, tell me about
Okay.
this. I guess maybe I'll love it after you tell me what
Anthony and my sister both hate this painting so much. I got a big canvas from Goodwill, and I wanted to spray paint something else that I found. And my dad has this big backpack that you just like put all the spray paint into, and then you hold it like a hose. So I was like, I gotta try that, you know? And I didn't really care about the canvas that much, so I threw something on top of it and spray painted over it, and it left that box where the first person's at on the left.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I gonna do with this? So I held on to this canvas for like a really long time, and then one day I didn't have work that day, and I was just like, I'm just gonna run it, you know? So I started doing it, and people ask me all the time. This happened on Thursday, actually. Like 3 people went up to me and they're like, did you paint that? And I was like, yes. Like very hesitantly, you know what I mean? Like I'm so scared to answer that question. And they were like, what does that mean? And this is the only one that I can really sit here and be like, I have no clue.
This is just
Like,
passion,
I don't
baby.
know what's going on in it, you know? And like so many people have speculated it, and like I named the painting Sneaky Love. Just because
That's probably
at
why I don't
first
like
glance,
it.
it makes sense that it's sneaky and it might be a little like inappropriate of love. Like that
Oh
might
my.
be a stalker, but you know what? It might not. You know what I mean? Honestly, who knows? The one in the window, maybe it's a female, maybe it's not. But the one in the window might be the sneaky one. Might be the inappropriate
Ooh,
one.
you're
You know,
blowing
like
the
you
top
don't
off
know.
on it right now. You
honestly.
never know.
Art's so weird.
It's so relative.
It's all relative.
This one makes me feel so weird. I'm just like blanking out staring at it.
So many people don't like it, and at the art show I had so many people going up to me being like, this is amazing. And I was like,
Not great though.
I don't know what's going on in your brain.
And
You
so
know,
for-
I love it. I think it's
I
awesome.
think it's really, really cool. It just makes me feel weird, but I love it.
For me, when I saw
Sorry.
your cactuses, I knew, like right when you drew a cactus and put it on black and white, it's kind of like I'm not an art connoisseur by any means, but when you drew it and it had that traditional vibe to me, I was like, fuck, like as far as a consumer goes, and that's normally how I view things, is from a lens of a consumer, and then I try and think of, you know, how we can market it. When I see those, I was like, oh my God, like this is gonna sell. But what I want to ask you about, and actually let's take a break and we'll get it when we come back from break, but what I want to ask you about is, are you, say one of your pieces was selling a ton, would you just do pieces like that to sell and still paint passionately on the side? And I know I'm asking a complex question. I just wanted to get it out before the break. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be right back.
Sissyart made it.
I got Sissyart. I'm a motherfucking wall. I ain't got no other paintings cause the sissy gang, y'all.
And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Took a little break like we always do. Anthony asked a really long and complex question. We're going to get to that in a second. But I want to tell a little story about...
What do you think of that little intro there for Sissyart real quick?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Are you just
okay.
going to
We're
blow,
just gonna pretend
blow right
like
by
that didn't
that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you made it, so it's not that important. But no, it is very important. And that was Sick Bass with Sissyart, produced by DJ David Slack. And it was a banger.
And Tanner.
It was a banger. And I guess Tanner's in it, but I mean, whatever.
And Terra.
I just said the
And
Sissyart made it part. I'm going to be
Sissyart
honest.
made it.
It was actually really impressive.
It's
I
a
like it lot.
spin-off on Mike Will Made It, in case you were wondering where we got that from.
Mike Will actually went to my high school. Yeah. Well, okay. I'll let Chad jump in. I know. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. I've never met him. I don't know what that was.
He
That
drove.
was
He
just
drove
a
by it
random
one
fact.
time. He drove
We
by
can
my
all
high school
tell
one time.
lies, okay, Anthony?
Yeah.
The Rock is actually my uncle.
Oprah and me, we're close.
She gave me a car. 2, actually.
That could be true.
Had to pay taxes on it though.
Quick story about Galor, Sissyart. And this is, I don't know, it's not a weird story, but it's weird for me to be transparent about it. So when I was incarcerated, a lot of people wrote me, and I remember one day I got this envelope, and I remember, and it makes me, I'm a little emotional, man, but I come back from doing whatever the fuck it is I was doing in prison, and I come back to my bunk, and I've got this envelope on my bed, and it's got yours and David's name on it, and I was filled with joy. I was like, oh, and I open it up, and it's just this plethora of amazing art and like these doodles, I guess you could call it, for lack of better terms. And I just remember reading it, and there's like a hot dog on there, and there's like I have it in my box, in my box in my house. I'm gonna have to pull it out, and the reason I tell that story is because your art in that moment, like, cause it was such a weird time in my life to be incarcerated, and like to be in a place that's not, home or freedom, right?
Wait. I wasn't your home? You weren't feeling at home in
That
prison?
wasn't my home.
You weren't feeling like you liked that place at all?
Wow, dude.
Wow, dude.
Wow, dude.
Keep going.
You interrupted that for that?
I mean, I just wasn't home. All right, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I hate you so much.
I was just listening. I mean, I'm sorry. We get
It's just a
emotional.
question,
Yeah,
Joe.
That's a horrible question. I'm visibly upset. My face is turning red
Yeah,
right now
he's
that
mad.
you interrupted me to be like, oh, that wasn't your home? Oh, that wasn't your home? You didn't feel at home when you were in prison?
Sorry.
That's
dude.
what you sound like.
All right, so you got that in there.
I'm so flustered right now, dude. Okay. In that moment, being where I was and not feeling like I was at home,
Got it.
okay, and feeling alienated from the world,
An opposite feeling.
an opposite feeling. I had some art drawn on a piece of paper that was sent to me, and it made me extremely happy. So my point that I'm trying to get across is that human connection of you taking the time out of your day to write me and to go get a stamp and to go put it in the mail and to take your time to draw some art on it, to you might just felt like, I'm just going to do this. But like to me, it meant the world to me in that moment to know that, one, I was loved, and two, that somebody took the time to do this for me. And it was so amazing. And I remember hanging it up in my locker, and I was like, now I got some sick artwork for my locker. And I was flexing on everybody. I was like, yeah, this is my friend Terra.
You know, that story is so funny because I met you. I had known you for a couple months before you went to prison, but like we weren't ever really friends. Like we had like this weird inside joke that we would always say whenever we saw each other. But like the night before you left, was some Halloween party, I think. And I like totally fell in love with you. I was like obsessed with you, dude. And I was so upset. Oh my God, he's so funny. He's so funny. And I was just like so bummed out that you were leaving for prison because I was like, when he comes back, he's going to forget that me and him became best friends tonight, you know? And I was like, I should write him. But then I was like, he's going to think I'm just hopping on some bandwagon, like trying to be his friend now that he's in prison, you know? And I wanted to write you so bad because I didn't want you to forget how funny and fun I am, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was never my thought process.
I really liked you. We were like doing trapper size the night before you left, and I was like, God damn it, this guy's fun, dude.
So yeah, I never really got the opportunity to thank you for taking your time to do that and for putting David's name on it as well.
That's a good clip. I'm not even mad. It's not bad. So, Terra, before we took a break, I was asking you a little bit about you.
Oh, we
marketing.
took a break? Was it like a break? Was it like
non?
Did it feel like a break?
Did it feel like a break?
All right, listen. I'm the fucking captain, okay?
Oh, you want us to listen?
Okay, I think I'm the captain now.
Well,
I'm just throwing it out there.
all right, listen to me,
Okay.
the captain. So, for your art, when you produce something that's, like I said, the cactuses, when I looked at them, I was like, oh my God, you're going to sell so many of these motherfuckers. And for you, I'm sure that obviously the first one you did, you were passionate about. But say it catches fire and there's a piece that just everyone's crazy about. How do you feel about mass producing a single piece of your art over and over? It's kind of like, you know, when I think about musicians, or who's the band that did the cover of Summer of '69? You guys know what I'm talking about? Jesus fucking Christ. Who's the band that did the cover of Summer '69? David, this is your job. You don't do drops like this.
I think
me.
it was.
Well, all I'm saying is they got super famous from this one thing that they didn't even like doing. And they had to do it over and over and over. Have you run into that at all with your art?
Yeah. So when I made those cactus the first time, I posted them on my Facebook and I was like, I remember the caption was like, oh, what a fun day I'm having. You know, like it wasn't anything where it's like, these are for sale. You can buy them now at sissyart.com, like, or whatever, you know? And you commented on it and you were like, oh, you broke the algorithm. And I was like, what is Anthony talking about? Like, I didn't do anything, you know? And I checked my phone maybe an hour later and there was probably over 90 comments saying I want to buy this. And people were like bidding on it and they were like, I'll buy it for 100. And
Was that the one that I bought?
No, that was if you look down on the screen, you'll see it. It's the first cactus painting that I ever did that was aligned with the Technicolors and like the white dots on it.
That one.
Yeah, actually Steve-O bought it. He's my #1 fan in case you guys are wondering. He has like 10
Shout
of my
outs to
paintings.
Steven. You can follow him at, is that Stevio_spirals? Is that him right there?
And then we've got, yep, that's him right there.
_ Is the triple hearts a part of his name, or did he just put that on the comments?
He just loves my art, you know. He's got a couple good Instagrams too. Strange Art is one of them, and then he's got his photography Instagram if you guys want to check that out. But he ended up being the one to buy it, and yeah, all these people were hitting me up. They're like, I need one of those cactus. I need one of those cactus. So I started painting them like, oh my gosh, I just remember I was like, okay, one more and then I'm done with the cactus business. I'm done. I'm cashing out with the cactus. And I did, that was around Christmas time, and I maybe painted 30 to 50 different cactus paintings, and they all sold. I made such good money during that holiday season. Like, it was crazy. I was so excited. And I was like, people were coming over and I was like, they were like, where are the cactus at? Do you have any more? And I was like, yeah, here you go. Like, you can flip through them. And it became this thing where I was just like, if I have to blend colors like this and put some white dots on it one more time in the shape of a cactus, I'm going to lose my mind. And so I took a huge break from it, and I actually started doing other stuff with cactus where it was like there was no Technicolor, there was no white dots, it didn't look like all of the original ones, and they like weren't doing as well, but people like cactus, you know, but I haven't done it in so long, and I kind of like put my foot down.
I'm not doing it
I'm
anymore.
not doing it anymore. And who knows? Maybe one day they'll come back, but not for now. I can't do it. I think there's something about being a sellout that you kind of run into as an artist, where you're just like, I don't even have time to express myself because I'm so busy trying to make this one thing that people seem to like. You know?
Well, and right now, as far as everything that you're selling and everything that you're doing, do you feel like you're more or less passionate about art in the moment right now?
I think I'm more passionate about art than I've ever been because I've been exploring different mediums lately. David's mom came over and she taught me how to do this needlepoint thing where you just like take fabric and rub it in between your hands really, really aggressively and then stab it 100 times and then it formed a cat. Like, and it was the craziest thing I've ever
David, will
done.
you tell me this story? Unlike what David...
I swear that's what happened. It took me
yeah.
5 hours.
It's called needle pointing or something like needle felting.
So you posted that and you said, I'm so anxious today.
Yep.
That thing does look like a cat.
Yeah, I put a halo and wings on it too.
Sometimes Terra's stories are so goddamn fun. I can't even handle them. I think we had this idea when we were doing the podcast. We had ideas to just do like short clips, and this will probably happen. I hope it happens. Is to have Terra just give us little synthesis on topics or things going on in the community. That's not what. God damn it, David. That's not
the
it.
one I did.
What is that?
Mine is not that
That's
good.
a real cat.
We'll have to put the clip up of what David just showed or the image. What I think would be really funny right now is to kind of give you guys some insight to our dynamic as a group. I want you to know that me and David are really avid fantasy footballers. And I hate to put you on the spot like this right now, but I feel like would be magical. Can you, and in the years that we've known each other, what it feels like 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Feels like 10.
It is.
We've played fantasy
Been 4.
football every single year. We have our draft over at your house every single year. We watch football around you every single year.
I don't.
I know.
And that's why I like Chad the most.
Chad is likely doing art with Terra during all of this.
That's actually true. I've done some of my best work. Some of my only work.
During football season. So, Terra, can you explain to our viewers how fantasy football works? I'm not hoping you do this badly. So just kind of explain to them, let's from start to finish, how does fantasy football work? So me and David, we come together and then what do we do?
Okay, I got this.
All right, you got it.
Okay, so you guys come over to my house.
Uh-huh.
You guys have paintball guns for some reason. You're shooting at each other. There gets paint all over my fence for some rude reason.
Okay.
And then you guys sit down and you have a bunch of pieces of paper that have the pictures of the guys on it and their team.
Yeah.
And I think what they do for the team.
Yep.
Like one of them's a quarterback, I'm sure.
Yes.
And so you would think to yourself, I have to create my own team, but you don't want you want the guys. So you gotta do the paintball thing to get first. You guys gotta be first.
Okay, yeah.
So you want the paintball thing. Or David said maybe sometimes you want fourth. I'm not sure for picking. So you want to be fourth for picking. So you
Stop telling them my strategy, babe.
Yeah,
So
wait,
you-
keep saying this stuff.
shoot your friends and then you pick a kicker.
Yep.
Yes. And so you pick a kicker and then you pick a couple more guys and the paintball thing is over. I'm stuck on it because my fence got ruined.
Sorry.
And so then you go on about the season and the games play in the background and
Yeah.
David takes a nap and then he wakes up and he goes, what happened? Who won? And then I say, oh, this person won. And he said, by how many points? Because it doesn't matter what team won. It matters what your dude did.
Oh, look at you know.
Yeah, it matters
Holy
what your
shit.
dude did. So if your dude did the thing right, or whatever he's supposed to do, like I'm not really sure
As long as he bagged the groceries properly.
if he bagged the groceries properly. So he bags the groceries. David gets a point
Yep.
or multiple,
Yeah.
depending on how well he bagged the groceries.
Sometimes
That's
they
the
put
term we'll
soap
use.
with the food, and that's not okay.
Fucked up. And so then there's a playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
There's a standoff.
There is a playoff.
There's a
And let me
playoff?
tell you about that playoff, okay?
What about it?
Anthony's never in it.
That's
That's what I know. Anthony never gets the trophy, and Jake always wins. End of season.
She actually was really close. So just for anybody
nailed
listening
it.
who does know what fantasy football is, Terra wasn't far off. The paintball situation is
Yeah,
our
you're really
draft.
stuck on the paintball.
Yeah,
thing.
that
was
has
one time.
way
It's
less to
upsetting.
do
And
with the
nobody lets
entirety
me
of the
use
game.
gun either. That's the rude part. You know what I mean? I think
You didn't get to shoot it at all.
I didn't get to shoot it at all.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So things to
We'll
think
make
about
that
for next
happen.
year's draft.
So the paintball thing is actually what we use to pick draft order. We don't have to go into that, but it literally has nothing to do with fantasy football. But it's interesting that you've correlated it to every single year. That was just one year we were using it as a prop to pick draft
Yeah, because
order.
there's like eggs and spoons and
we bought mice last year.
What?
Well, we tried to buy plural mice, but they only had a mouse, and they knew what we were up to. So our idea was that we would split the group into 6 and 6 and race 2 separate mice through a maze, timed, and whatever mouse won, the other team, that team would get
What
the most
the
points.
fuck?
So listen. This is what's
What
funny
did you
about
do
it,
with the
though.
mouse after?
What the fuck?
Well, we
dude?
just let it go into the wild.
It's domestic. Okay, we're not going to get into that. That's a topic for a different podcast.
Yeah, but it's in jail, It's like the mouse has been in jail its whole life. I think if you had to give it a choice, I'm sure
born-
it was
Hey,
happier.
It is
Hey,
born and
stop
raised
justifying.
domesticated.
Stop.
Listen.
Hold on. Stop justifying what you did. It was
You know what?
wrong, and don't you ever do it again.
I got a lot to say about this dolphin thing too. Really quick side note.
Okay.
All of these bitches are so upset about the dolphin thing when it's like, yeah, you should take them out of the desert, but you can't just let them back into the ocean. Like, they are born and raised domesticated. They need to stay domesticated or they will die.
Okay, tell the
Anthony.
people listening the
my
backstory of
God,
what you're
these
talking
bitches,
about.
dude. Okay, so this Oh, dude.
I thought you were talking about dolphins getting caught in the net fishing.
No, the
What are you talking
dolphins
about?
in Phoenix, Arizona.
Dolphin-
well,
at
they're in
Dolphinaris.
Scottsdale. Dolphinaris.
Yeah, Dolphinaris. It's a place.
3 dolphins died in 1 year, and everyone was really upset about it because, yeah, I mean, it's sad that dolphins died, but mostly what's happening is that they're getting valley fever because they shouldn't be in Phoenix.
Wait, that's why they're dying?
That's
from
why they're
valley
dying.
fever?
Yeah, so it's because of the desert air that they shouldn't be here. They don't belong here. And so another dolphin had died, and they finally decided to shut the place down. And so everyone's reposting it on Facebook saying like, oh, thank God these fucking Nazis keep dolphins in the desert. And it's like, okay, just because like they had an idea to bring dolphins to Phoenix doesn't make them Nazis. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, that
you
doesn't
know?
make them Nazis. 'Cause
That's what I'm saying. And so they said we should just let the dolphins free. So I commented on the post, and I don't usually engage on Facebook stuff, but I commented on the post and I said, they were born and raised domesticated. They need to stay domesticated for their well-being. And then somebody replied back to me and said the Trump supporter. And I said, wait, what? And I got into a
Long leap.
Oh my God, that's what I said. So I got into a big Facebook argument about like having an opinion on dolphin domestication doesn't make anybody a Trump supporter or a liberal. It just makes somebody have an opinion on dolphin domestication. And so that's what I'm saying. I
So-
mean, obviously, fuck Nazis, right?
Right.
This podcast has a hard stance
we're-
on not like
we don't
Nazis.
we don't
Okay,
have
just
very
wanna
many
make
hard
sure.
lines,
No,
but I
yeah.
think we're all in agreement that
We don't like Nazis.
we
don't like
don't
Nazis.
we don't
Thank God. I
Yeah,
thought
we
I was in a
don't
bad room for
prefer
a
to
second
be
the way you
around
guys were
Nazis.
looking at me.
we'd probably hard line, no Nazis. No Nazis. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and it doesn't make them not like the people who work there. Like they think they're actually being helpful.
Oh my God. Also, like,
You
they
know,
just want
but
kids to play with dolphins. And I
It's
get
the
that.
people. It's the people that own the facility. Those are the ones that are doing the shady shit, and they're like taking these fish out of their home. And it's this is a whole thing. If you ever
It's
seen
a
the
whole thing.
documentary Blackfish on Netflix,
Oh my God. Don't walk
it's a
Blackfish.
sad story.
Hey, who gave her a kazoo?
Yeah, where did you get? How do you sneak that back in here?
Kept it in my pocket.
If I ever hear about you trying to buy mice to race again, I will end this podcast.
So listen,
gonna
but
open
you
up the
guys cut
Nazi
me off,
conversation
and I really
again if
want
you
to
talk
finish.
about buying
So
mice.
I sent Clell to go get the mice, and he
Okay.
couldn't get them. Then Connor had to go and finish.
It was
what
going to
Clell
be
couldn't.
turtles first, if you remember.
Yeah, I wanted to get a fleet of turtles and then give them away to children. I figured they would be easier to, rehome. But the guy that sold us the mouse was really, really suspicious about, it's like he fucking knew the gig. He was like, what do you want this mouse for? You're not going to feed it to anything, are you? And we're like, no, God, no. And then he was like, you going to keep it? Take care of it? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. He gave him like the full 10 degrees, just asking him, and you know what mice eat? Where are you going to keep them? You going to create a family for them?
These bitches are so upset.
And we had to lie to the guy. We felt so bad. And then when Connor brought him over, Connor he didn't like that we released him either, Chad. He was like, this isn't right. And I was like, you can keep him. I mean, if you want to, you can take care of him. But nobody out of the 12 was going to keep him, right? You weren't going to keep him. And so it was kind of informed decision. We're just going to, set him free. Like, good luck, little buddy. Make a mouse home out here in Phoenix. Mice live out here. Am I right? No, we're all agreed that I did a bad thing. Okay, that's fine. We'll just move past this.
I mean, honestly, we talked about Nazis earlier. Like, how bad is it to release a mouse into the wild as opposed to being a Nazi? These bitches are so upset. Stop!
Okay, so for our last 10 minutes, let's talk a little bit about what's going on now. What art things are coming up? We'll slide right over back into art, I guess. Even though I'm enjoying the domesticated animal conversation.
So I've got a show today, actually, at 2:00.
David's making hand gestures at Terra, stopping her.
I thought you were stopping me. I was like, what? I didn't say anything
Just
bad.
telling you to speak into the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this good?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to last weekend.
We do not support Nazis here.
Back with your sexy jams by Terra G.
All right. God damn it. Tell us.
I'm sorry I did that. I couldn't resist myself.
So you got an art show today.
Yeah, I've got an art show today. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, so I'll see how it goes. But I'm going to set up my booth. I've got some, it's kind of funny. I have some like Instagram followers who I've never met before in real life who like messaged me and they were like, what is all this for? I was like posting like weird stuff that I was going to do with a booth, and I told them about it and they were like, oh my God, I can't wait. So I've got like 5 little groupies coming and I'm so excited to see them. We've never met each other in person, but we always comment on each other's stuff and vote on each other's polls. So that's really fun for me. Mm-hmm. Other than that, right now, I don't have any other art shows planned or anything, but I am still working. I've got an art studio in Peoria, and then I have one here at my house, and the one in Peoria doesn't have any AC, so we need to look into some things. So if any of our viewers are doing AC work for local artists, hit
Summer
me up.
is coming.
Yeah, summer is coming. Please help us. My vinyl melted in my car. That was kind of a bummer.
What is that?
Vinyl
like
is
a record?
No, vinyl. You can do a heat press vinyl or cold press, which is essentially a sticker, right?
Oh, got it for the t-shirts.
Yeah. So we use t-shirts. So we use vinyl for the t-shirts, and then we do cold press vinyl for candles. What are some of the other weird things that we've done? We've done mugs, the little tumblers, stuff like that. So you can get Sissyart design on really anything right now, and you should get them while they're hot because I will stop doing this soon because I get bored easily.
What's the next big thing? What do you want to get into now?
Oh, I really want to get into, so you can buy chunks of this rubber and then kind of carve into it and create. It's like before they created the screen printing machines. That's how you did it. And so it's really old school. It's a cool way of doing it though. And so I want to carve something and start doing like greeting cards with the screen printing thing. I think they might end up looking cool, but I think it's going to be one of those projects that takes me like 10 hours to do. And then I do one of them and I go, this is terrible. Like, I never want to do this again.
Terrible.
Oh, it's terrible.
All right, tell a couple of jokes. Tell a couple of jokes for the people. I know you can't resist. They need to hear them anyways.
Okay. All right. What do we want? Low riding airplane noises. When do we want them?
Damn it. David would never back me up like that.
Okay. I had a dream that I was swimming in an ocean of orange soda. I woke up and realized it was just a fantasy.
Do you have another one? Yeah. All right. Last one. Then we're done with this.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what you're whispering about, but I'm sure that my answer is yes.
Okay. Stop me because you know the joke. All right. Is everyone ready?
You can tell the joke.
Okay. What do you not want to hear from Willie Nelson at a Willie Nelson concert while you're sucking Willie Nelson's dick?
What?
I'm not Willie Nelson.
I will never get you your first hard drug. I'll get you your first hard dick.
Danielle's going to love that drop on there. Okay, so how did the people get connected with you? Promo, blast, Sissyart one last time.
All right. One last time. You can follow me on Instagram at Sissyart.
Boom.
It's spelled exactly the way you think it is, but just in case you can't spell, it's SISSYART at symbol before all of that. And yeah, you can slide in my DMs. It's not like that.
David,
you know,
protect
it's cool.
that shit.
Cool. Slide in my DMs.
All right, I got a few final thoughts for this here podcast. And that's the first one, and that actually bleeds right into what I want to say. Earlier, I made a comment how Anthony doesn't have any passion, but Anthony does have a lot of passion, and I see that in him, and I see that in all my friends. I see the talent in all my friends. I see it in David. I see it in you. I see it in Anthony, and was one of the big things that really wanted me to bring us all together to make this podcast. Because what you're doing is great, and I know David can do all this crazy technical shit, and I know Anthony's really good at talking to people, much better than I am, and he's a wordsmith. So any kind of drama you ever hear between Anthony and I, it's not real.
It is real.
These bitches are so upset. Stop dropping that.
It's not real at all. I hate him with all my heart. So yeah, that's really all I want. It's human connection, man. You know, you see the value in the people around you, dude, and that's what I want to do. For years, I've seen our interactions, and I've been like, people need to hear this or see this. They need to know what's going on right now. They need to hear what Anthony has to say, and they need to listen to the low-flying airplane noises that come out of Terra's mouth, and the sick beats that David can make. Terra just hit her head up.
Oh, I thought that was the beginning of a David sick beat.
No, I hit my head on the mic.
So anyways, everyone that listened to this, thank you very much. We appreciate it a lot. I know we were all over the place, but I hope you got the message out of this, man, and that was human connection, and that was just doing what you want to do with your life, and to be passionate, and to follow your goals.
I got one more thing.
Oh.
One more thing.
I'm just going to tell a quick story, and I feel moved to tell it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And so here it is. Okay, so when I was 12, I hung out with all the skaters at the skate park, and they would come over to my house, and I would be covered in paint. I'd be painting, and they'd be like, "Were you painting?" I'm like, "No. My stupid dad's making me paint the walls again." They're like, "These make you do that once a week, dude." I'm like, I'm always in trouble.
Wait, were you lying?
I lied all the time. I'm such a
Okay.
liar. It's crazy.
Because you thought they think painting would be nerdy.
Yeah.
Okay, I
And
see what you're saying.
I would draw and stuff, and I wouldn't show anybody. And it wasn't until maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Anthony's wife asked me what I was doing, and I was like, nothing. She's like, then why don't you want to hang out? And I was like, I'm just in the middle of something, dude. So she came over anyway because she's so assertive. And she came over anyway, and I was wire wrapping rocks and putting them on necklaces, and she was like, I want to do that. And I was like, this is just some weird thing I decided to do. And she's like, why are you gluing sticks together? And I said, to make a frame. And she's like, I want to do that. And so it started something. This has been a super new thing in my life, the art thing, and it has been such a weird climb. And like, what I found is that like all of my friends know that I paint now, and they all talk to me about it, and it's a very like real thing in my life. And like I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of it anymore. But like, I just wanted to say that for anybody else who's going through the same thing is like, honestly, I kind of found my niche and I love it so much. But like, that's not to say that, you know, on Thursday I told that story about everyone's art being better than mine and all of this stuff. And like, it's so subjective, you know, and I did that art class and like, everyone's so much better at realistic stuff than I am. But like, that's just not my thing. And so I'm very happy about the progression that I've made in the art world. And so I just wanted to tell that story really quick because I love it. It's
pretty.
so cute.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
And I'm done.
And then we're done with this podcast.
Oh, where's my kazoo?
Hold on, yeah, let's get the kazoo.
If you want to follow us on Instagram,
What is this? Is this a new
comes-
piece?
no,
It's the
here
only
comes
one
the
I could
bride.
think of.
Why don't you go back to the basics, family?
All right, we'll do one like this.
follow us last week out on Instagram.
I ran out of breath. Sissyart made it.
Goodbye, y'all. Thanks for listening.
I got Sissyart.